Hello there, welcome back. In this video we're going to be looking at form validation. So when someone submits this form, obviously we want to perform some kind of validation before we start updating the database, okay? Now looking at the URL here, I can see that there's a little tweak we need to do to the form because it's not posting. So let's open up our create file. Okay, and store items, and where the form tag is, let's say method equals post. Okay, so that's going to get rid of those horrible big URLs, and we'll just test that. Right, good, that's excellent. That means the form's posting. And then up here I'm going to do a PHP short tag, and I'm going to say validation errors, like so. And in fact, let's have each validation error in a little red paragraph thing. So something like that, okay? So all I'm saying here is, if there's an error, then basically we're echoing out the validation errors and let's make them red, okay? That's the vibe. So if we go to this create thing, this is where the form's getting sent to. So now I'm going to do some validation, okay? So we say this load library form validation, okay? And then we're going to say this form validation set rules. We'll do a rule for item title. Of course, the label is item title, let's not forget that. And we'll say that it's required, and we'll give it a max length of 240, something like that. Okay, next validation rule we'll do on item price, and item price is going to be required and numeric. And the next validation rule is was price, remember that one, and that's going to be was price. Whoops, just noticed that. Okay, was price is not required, but it is numeric. And the last one is going to be item description. Okay, item description, and that's just going to be required. Okay, so that's all of our validation rules for this page here. Okay, and by the way, the idea is if someone adds like a was price in, the vibe is, say you're selling something for £100, you could say was 150, and it'll do a nice little thing saying the was price, what it used to be. That's all that is, okay? So don't worry about it, everything is cool. So now I'm going to say if this form validation run is equivalent to false, then we'll just say echo validation errors. Otherwise, actually we have the validation errors on the page, so let me just try something else. If it's equivalent to true, echo well done, and we'll kill the script. Okay, right, so let's try that. I'm going to refresh. Actually, we're not going to, yeah, I'll just refresh. Actually, I'll just submit again, I won't fill anything out. Okay, and as you can see, it's giving us the validation errors. That's fantastic. Let's now do this again. So I'll say first item price is 88, was price 77. Here we go, and we'll say submit. Well done. Right, excellent, that is cool. The validation is looking good. So we're going to get the variables, and to do that we can actually just say, now remember we have a thing here that's called fetch data from post. See all of this stuff? So we can just use that and save some time. So data equals this fetch data from post. We now have all of the variables, okay? And what we can say is if is numeric update ID, then we're going to update the item details. Otherwise, insert a new item. Okay, now what do these things actually look like? Well, update is going to look like this, and insert is going to look like, whoops, like this. Okay, that's that. Now we want to do a little bit of diversions and whatnot. Let me have a think about what we want to do actually. Okay, I've worked out what we're going to do. If we create a new item, or if we add a new item, we're going to send them back to this page and give them some flash data saying the item was created. If we update, we're going to send them back little alert, the item was updated, and we're going to give them some buttons and stuff to add pictures and whatnot. Okay, so the key vibe is we're going to be using flash data, right? And on the Bootstrap page, we've got these cool little alert things. Do you remember all of this stuff? I'm going to borrow this, right? And I'm going to go into the create method here. And I'm going to say data flash equals, and we'll whack this stuff in like so, okay? Something like that actually. And I'll just write all is well. Okay, so this is going to be our flash data, and it's going to basically go up here somewhere like this, and we'll just say if is set flash, then echo flash. Okay, so I'm just testing it here. So if we hit refresh, you can see that we've got a nice little alert here, and that actually looks pretty cool. So that's what we're going to use, okay? Now let's make this a little bit more. This chair is so loud, I apologize for that. Let's make this a little bit better than this. So I'm going to go up here, we'll take this out here, and if we do an update, I'll just say flash message equals the item was successfully updated. Actually, the item details were successfully updated. And we're going to set the flash data like so. Okay, looks kind of cool to me. And if we do an insert, we'll say the item was successfully added. Okay, now couple of things actually that I've just thought of here. If we add an item, we need, this is going to get complicated, so just think about what, I need your full attention for 1 minute because this is complicated, right? If we add an item, we need it to pass the URL, to pass the update ID via the URL. We absolutely need that, okay? Because that's what's going to tell us what item we're actually looking at. Can you handle the vibe? I think you can. So in the event where we create an item, it's actually not good enough to do this. We've got a few other things we need to do. We need to say update ID equals this, get max. That's going to give us the ID. Get the ID of the new item, right? Then we want to actually set the flash data and do this all proper. So we do that by saying this load library session, okay, and then we're going to say the way that we do this actually is we say value equals that, and then down here we say this session set flash data, and then we say item value. I think I've gone over that in a previous tutorial. I don't know if you remember any of that stuff, but we've basically just set the flash data there, okay? And then I'm going to redirect to store items, and it's going to be create, and then it's going to be update ID, okay? So that's going to remember the flash data. Can you handle the vibe? Okay. So when the page loads up, in fact, when all of the pages load up, we're going to have a thing happening where we go, actually, let's load up that session thing at the top. And then here, we're going to say flash equals this session flash data item. Okay, so that's us, and let me just have a think here. Are we happy with that? Let's do a couple of tweaks up here. Alright, so I'm setting the flash data properly, and I'm also making it up as I go along, but I think that's going to be okay. Let me just have a quick look at the form and make sure that's okay. Base URL, store items, create. Yep, that looks okay. Everything looks good. Right, so here we go. Okay, so I'm going to say gold watch. Item price is that. The was price is that. Here is a description of a watch. Going to hit submit. Okay, and if you keep an eye on the URL there, you'll see that it's we're now carrying the update ID across. That's kind of cool. We do not have the flash data though, which is a downer, and we've also got this index.php thing showing up. So we've got a little bit of fixing to do, but it's nothing that we can't handle. Let's do the flash data first, okay? So that's going to be data flash equals this session flash data. That's what that needs to be. So that's that fixed. And if we go to config.php, the index page says index.php. We'll just keep it empty. So let's try again, okay? I'm just going to say submit. The item was successfully added, and we'll say submit again. Okay, so so it's adding tons of items, right? So that's kind of uncool, but we're getting there. We're totally getting there. Now the update ID equals this URI segment 3. Let me just try something. Let me have a look at the form. Going to, there you go. So it's just going to store items create. Okay, so that's kind of uncool. Let's shorten things here. Form, location, make it look a bit tidier. And we'll add a thing in here that says form location equals base URL, store items, create, and then we'll have our update ID in here. Right, that should be us. Okay, undefined variable update ID. Okay, so we need to pass the update ID into the page. And if we hit refresh, there we go. So gold watch is now going to become cool gold watch. It has an ID of 11. And it says the item details were successfully updated. ID of 11. Let's go in here. You can see cool gold watch. It has successfully updated, and that is fantastic. You'll also see that I had a few test items in there while the video thing had stopped recording. So let's do another item. Okay, what am I looking at here? We'll call it an iPhone. Item price. I don't know how I came up with that. I don't even have an iPhone. Here is a description of an iPhone. Hit submit. The item was successfully added. It has an ID of 12, and that is fantastic. Okay, so this video was a little bit messy, but I think we got there in the end. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.